Once more, it is cold. Incredibly cold. Bone-chillingly cold. But I've had a pretty garbage day, so I figured might as well come out in the shop, bang away at some stuff. So I've been saying it for a while now, and if you follow me on social media, you'll probably have heard the term refractory. This is refractory. This particular stuff is it's cement. It's basically cement. They call it a refractory mortar, and it's rated for 2,550 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius. Maybe I'll edit that in on screen. Otherwise, Google is your friend. Yeah. So anyway, I'm hoping to actually get that mixed up and then packed into my forge. But when I was grinding my anvil stand and my anvil down, I got a bunch of dust and grime and stuff everywhere. So I am going to be cleaning up the grill again just with a vacuum and scrubbing it down. And then I'll look at getting that stuff ready and poured. Here we are. We're cleaned out of loose material. It's not amazing, but it'll be fine. We have this grate here. The plan is to put this in place here and then refractory cement the top, with a hole made for our blower pipe there. If this doesn't work out, oh well, we'll figure something out. I'm not entirely sure what to do, but we'll figure it out. The blower's up here on the bench. The bench is a mess once again because I don't follow my own advice. This is the pipe that I will be using for my forming. That's probably not my best plan. I am sure I have more pipe around here that I can form some cement around. So I'm gonna look around for some of that. If I don't have anything, that's fine, I'll figure it out, but I do want something relatively low in diameter. So that stuff is actually probably fine. If I need to adapt some blower to fit another piece of pipe similar, that's fine too, I don't care. That being said, I'm ready to pour some refractory, and I'm bound and determined to do it tonight because I have had a bad day, and that's always when you should make serious, semi-permanent decisions, right?
My name is Steven Starlin, and I do not approve this message.
Right. Yeah. If you've never worked with refractory before, it's important that you wear a respirator because the stuff is like silicone-based or whatever. If it gets into your lungs, it can cure into actual cement in your lungs and stuff like that. That's no bueno. Don't let that happen. All right? Don't let that happen. I've got the refractory in there, and I am not a cement worker. I'm not somebody that works with this kind of material very often. So I haven't poured cement at all in, I would have been probably 13 or 14 maybe. Maybe a bit older than that. My memory's not great. Anyway, so it's been a hot second since I poured any kind of cement, let alone refractory cement, because I've never done that before. And I totally flubbed up and totally forgot that I should probably have something in the center. I thought this was going to be a lot more viscous than it is. I thought I was going to be able to pack it instead of just pouring it. So what I need to do is I need to go through and clean up my workshop space to clear up any of that excess cement that dripped down onto the floor. I also need to let this cure for a little while and see if I can remove that centerpiece at all. If I can't, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break off that bucket and try to chisel that out as I can. And then I'll go in stages. I'll buy another bucket of refractory and really get rolling on that side of things. If for some reason this does not work out, for any reason whatsoever, I do have another dish that used to be the top of this grill that I can use as the actual basin of the forge. If that doesn't work out, what I'll probably end up doing is just going out and buying some angle iron and some sheet steel and saying, screw it, I'm just going to make my own forge. That's quite a bit faster than I thought, actually. So while that's curing for a little bit, we're going to go over and we're going to change the blade on my bandsaw because I got some nice, sexy new blades in, and I want to see if they fit, because I don't know if they do, because my bandsaw is old, like old. I don't know what year they made this thing, and I don't really care to look it up, but I know it's old. So let's go take a look. It is an upright bandsaw, and good luck finding an upright bandsaw anymore that is cheap, quote unquote. Bandsaws aren't generally all that cheap. Man, there's always something in my way. And now I understand why people are always buying like warehouses and bigger pole buildings and things like that. Maybe I'll buy a plot of land and just put a shop on it one day. That'd be nice. So hold on, let me bring my light over here. Well, that's just no good. There we go. That's a bit better. All right. So my bandsaw, I already have partially dismantled. I have the faceplate off of the blade area. And this bandsaw is actually quite nice because it can be both a bandsaw and a sander. It's old, like I said. It was my dad's, and I inherited it when he passed away. Whatever that's worth. It took me a while to find these blades because it took me a while to find the manual online. And again, there's always something in my way. It's a car battery charger is specifically what was in my way. I also have a drill press that I want to get up on my bench at some point, but that involves moving my kayak probably over top of this bandsaw, which I'm not going to do tonight, I don't think. We'll see how ambitious I'm feeling. Anyway, so with this bandsaw, may not be the easiest to see. To take the blade off, you have to lower this wheel here, which involves undoing that screw a little bit, which lowers this entire thing down. You have to make sure that you have the old blade out, obviously. It goes around there. There were some mice living in here conveniently, so I'd like to go through and clean that up eventually. I have to go through and recoat some of this this paint work and everything. And I do have this unplugged. There's still some mouse nests back in there, but I'll get it figured out. Anyway, so we're just gonna go ahead and pop a blade into there. Hey, you can actually see some stuff. All right, so I'm going to lower my wheel down counterclockwise. Open up my bag of blades. I wanted something that was gonna be capable of handling some steel. So I got a 14 TPI 80-inch blade, which is supposedly the length of blade that this saw originally came with as the demo blade. Again, I'm not entirely sure what year this blade is, or this saw is. Hopefully release the tension on this blade a little bit nicely so it doesn't fling out and hurt me. And I believe I got 2 blades. Did I? Ho ho ho, I did. I finally did something right. Holy Hannah. I actually did something right, y'all. All right, so we want to make sure our blade is facing outward. That's intensely important. We're gonna put on this top wheel. Oh, I gotta undo my wing nut here for this keeper bolt. Pop this up. Drop this blade into place. How's our thrust bearing? Our thrust bearing is okay. This is our thrust bearing here. See if you can see this all right. This is a thrust bearing right here, which means that when you push up against it, it still rotates nicely. I went through and sprayed everything down with some WD-40 earlier to try to penetrate and make sure that everything was decently lubricated. Lower you down a little bit. That would happen, you know? Anytime you try to show somebody how to do something. This is something I've done before. Granted, it's been a long time since I've done it, as with a lot of things. I kind of forsook or kind of left my my old working by hand days when I went into technology a while back, and part of me regrets not keeping up and keeping abreast of all this stuff, because it was a great skill set to have, in all honesty. It's a skill set I recommend most people try to have, is getting used to working with your hands. Obviously it takes practice and it takes time. But a little bit of patience will go a long way for you. And eventually you learn how to just make things for yourself rather than having to rely on other people, which, as somebody that was, believe it or not, a small-time homesteader for a while, this was like paramount to what we did on a regular basis. I do mean small-time. It's nothing like the TV shows, or it wasn't anything like the TV shows that you've probably seen, like Homesteaders or whatever, where people are out in the boonies, you know, completely self-sufficient. We still bought some stuff from the store from time to time, but we managed to be fairly self-sufficient, which I think in a modern world, or quote-unquote modern world, is not particularly something that's common, and it was quite nice. If you're looking at starting up a homestead, obviously do your research, but I recommend looking into it at minimum. And if you're not going to actually do it, that's fine too, but take the time to learn some of the skills that go into it, because you'll never know what you can use around your house on a daily basis, and it can be monumentally helpful to maintaining your household. Hey, we're getting there. You gotta back it off a little bit. Try to pull the blade towards the wheel. I'm probably doing this all wrong. The experts of Facebook will tell me, or sorry, Facebook. If this makes it over to Facebook, woo, we made it. The experts of YouTube will tell me that I'm doing something wrong, I'm sure. And you know what? Somehow, I'm okay with that. It's a learning opportunity. So I guess that's how I'm okay with it. Try loosening that, see if it's a tension issue, because it may very well be a tension issue. If for some reason I do end up needing to get a new bandsaw, I'll probably take the electric motor off of this and make some sort of treadle hammer, or a very basic home power hammer, using it at some point. If you're interested in that, let me know. Again, that's contingent on this bandsaw not being functional with what I would expect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my guard back on here. This puppy. Who's a good puppy? Make sure you're always complimenting your dogs. If you can hear that, they appreciate it, the neighbor's dog. It feels good to be back out here. I know in the last Shop Talk video that I posted, which may have been the first, I think that was the first Shop Talk. I recorded that a while ago. because I wasn't sure if I wanted to publish it or not. Because I'm super self-conscious about this stuff because I'm really not that great at shop work, but I realize that I'm better than some people, and I'm worse than others. So I either get to teach people something, or I get to learn something myself, or some combination of the two, which is great, but still, you know, a little bit of performance anxiety there. And of course, we're going upside down for me on this wing nut, so it's as backwards to me, even though it's not actually backwards. Grab this baby. Ha-ha! I'm not dumb. Just kind of incompetent sometimes. All right, now this should be able to plug into some sort of power source. And hopefully it won't come flying off. In order to verify that, I'm going to put my guard down. We're just going to go in little bursts. Hey! Yeah! There's my blade. It rattles a little bit. It's a little shaky. I'll probably take the whole thing apart again and just verify to make sure that it's looking the way I want it to. But I'm gonna go check on my refractory. Let's go over there now. I'm recognizing a severe lack of things to hold my light and my camera. And my action. That was a bad production pun. Like awful production pun. Let's rotate you around. Look down, and I'm gonna get myself a prodding stick on my new bandsaw. Man, it feels nice to just be able to make the things you need. All right, so we are gelatinizing. We have a tough layer on the bottom, which is good. It's very good, but it's not quite where we need it to be. So I'm trying to think of the other things that I need to do while I'm out here. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of things to do. And I don't feel like cleaning up right now. So I could pull down that baby, the kayak, and put it up over the bandsaw. That's an awful lot of work to do tonight, and I don't know what time it is. Yeah, it's still fairly liquidous on the top where the bucket is. I just had a thought that the other thing that I could do is I could put fire brick in the bottom of it. That might be the way to go. Why do I only ever think of this stuff afterward? That would have been the smart thing to do. But whatever, trial and error. If this doesn't work out, like I said, I have some other options. I can go to the store and buy some angle iron. And I actually have a metal pan out here that I can use as a small forge as well. The smaller, typically the better, but you want some working area as well. But we'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about it. You can kind of see that pan if you look underneath that blue tarp. There's a metal pan that I can use as the basin for my forge if I need to. I just have to buy some angle iron and set up some legs for it and probably weld. That's the other thing I was thinking about doing was trying my hand at some stick welding, but that may not be the best idea right now. But I do need to learn that. Maybe I'll make a video on it. Maybe. We'll see. I'm not sure how I would capture that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the Shop Talk series. Eventually, we will get to a point where I'm actually putting out videos on blacksmithing. and making stuff. I'm really excited for that. But this is like the last big linchpin before I can light a fire and start forging things. So if you like it, if you want to see more of it, hit the like button, throw a comment telling me what you'd like to see specifically in the shop setup. If you've got questions, I might be able to answer them. I don't know. We'll see. And of course, if this is your kind of content, throw me a subscription if you haven't already, because that tells me immediately that you want to see more of this kind of content. And I appreciate that. And I want to make the content that you like to see, but I also want to make the content that I want to make. So if we agree, I'll make more videos on this and you can tell me in the way that you see fit. Thank you so much again. And until next time, have a good one.